Hello class, welcome to Unit 7, Video 4. Today we're going to go ahead and look at dividing polynomials using synthetic division. So yesterday you learned how to divide polynomials using long division, so we're going to be doing the same thing as yesterday, however it's a different method. Your learning target is that you can divide a polynomial by a polynomial of equal or lower degree using synthetic division. So we have our two ways to divide a polynomial by a binomial. There's long division and there's synthetic. So if you notice, we have exactly the same problem listed here. So let's go ahead and do it using long division. Okay, so we have z minus 4, and underneath our radical, underneath our division, we have z squared plus 2z minus 24. Now I go ahead and we say, well, z times what gives you z squared? Z times z. So then I go z times z is z squared. Negative 4 times z is negative 4z. Biggest thing to remember is we always subtract, so we change the signs. That cancels. This gives us 6z. Bring down the negative 24. Then I say z times what gives you 6z? Well, times 6. So I have 6z. 6 times negative 4 is negative 24. And then we always change the signs. And I get 0 as my remainder. So my answer is z plus 6. Now we are going to do synthetic division. Okay, so if we are dividing, really we would say z minus 4 equals 0 because we're finding the solution here. So z equals 4. So we take this 4 and we put it in a little box. Okay, then what we do is we take the coefficients and write those down. So really in front of here I have a 1, then I have a 2, then I have a negative 24. Okay, and with synthetic, I'm going to draw a line, leave some space here. Okay, so the way synthetic works is you take and you always bring the first number down. So this gives me 1, then you take 4 times 1, which is 4. Then I always add. 2 plus 4 is 6, and I take 4 times 6, which is 24. Always add these two together. When I add those together, I get 0. Okay, this last piece that is left is always our remainder. So if I have a remainder of 0, that means there is no remainder. Then it's my constant, then it's x. Okay, so if there was more numbers, I would have x squared, then x to the third. It always goes in this order. So my answer for this one, and it's not x, right? We're using z. It'd be 1z plus 6, our constant or our number. So our answer is z plus 6. Notice this answer and this answer are the same thing. So it doesn't matter which way you do it, but today we're going to do synthetic division. Okay. So let's go ahead and do some more practice with synthetic. So once again, whatever we are dividing by here, you take it and you find the solution. So you have x plus 3 equals 0. So x is equal to negative 3. Okay, so I put negative 3 in a box off to the side here. Then I go ahead and write my coefficients down. Make sure you include the sign in front. So this is 2, then I have 3, then it's negative 4, then it is 15. Leave some space, draw a line, and then you always bring the first one down. So I have 2, then you multiply. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Always add. 3 plus a negative 6 is negative 3. Then I go back to the same process. Negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. Always add. Negative 4 plus 9 is 5. Back to multiplying. Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. We always add. 15 plus a negative 15 is 0. Now the way I set it up is this last piece. The last one's always your remainder, so that means there's no remainder. This is my constant. This is my x. This is my x squared. And you always just count up. Okay. So my answer for this one is 2x squared minus 3x plus 5, and there it is. There is my answer for number 1 using synthetic division. Okay, let's go ahead and try the next one. Biggest thing I would notice when I'm looking at this one is I have x to the 4th, x to the 3rd, and there's no x squared, so we still have to put our space holder in there like we did before. So it's 0x squared. Okay. So here I have x plus 2 equals 0, so x equals negative 2. So I take this, put it in my little box, and then I do my coefficients. So 6, 15, 0, negative 28, negative 6. Always bring the first one down at 6. Negative 2 times 6 is negative 12. 15 plus negative 12 is 3. Multiply. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. When I add them, I get negative 6. Negative 2 times negative 6 is positive 12. Negative 28 plus 12 is negative 16. Negative 2 times negative 16 will be positive 32. And negative 6 plus 32 is 26. Okay, so like I said before, the last one is always your remainder. This is my constant, this is x, and then we just keep counting up. So my final answer for this one is 6x to the third plus 3x squared minus 6x minus 16 plus, we got to add our remainder this time. Remember, it's 26 over what we were dividing by, x plus 2. There it is. There is example 2. So far, with example 1 and example 2, notice how there's just one x in front, so it's x plus 3, and this one's x plus 2. Looking at example 3, there is a 2 in front of my x. So with synthetic, whenever there's a number there, you have to do a little extra work. So we have to, if I want to get rid of this, I need to divide everything by that number in front, which is 2. So rewriting, 8 divided by 2, I have 4x to the fourth, minus 4 divided by 2, so 2x squared, plus this is 1 over 2, so 1/2 x, plus 4 divided by 2 is 2, divided by 2 divided by 2 is 1, so x plus 1/2. Okay, we'll have to keep this division in mind because if there's a remainder, we'll have to do a little extra work with it. Okay, so same process now as before. X plus 1/2 equals 0, so x equals negative 1/2. So I put that in my box, negative 1/2. Then I write down my coefficient. So I have 4, negative 2, 1/2. Oh, look at, what am I missing? 0x to the third, so I need to add that in there. So 4, 0, negative 2, 1/2, and 2. Go ahead, bring down the first one. You can do this on your calculator or you can do it in your head. Either way is fine. So negative 1/2 times 4 is negative 2. Add these, I get negative 2. Negative 1/2 times 2 is going to, negative 1/2 times negative 2 is going to give you positive 1. When I add these, I get negative 1. Multiply, I get positive 1/2. 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1. This is negative 1/2. 2 minus 1/2 is 1.5 or 3 over 2. Okay, so that piece is my remainder. Now here's the thing. We divided everything by 2. So in order to write my answer out, I need to multiply. That didn't go well. Edit, undo. Okay. I need to multiply my remainder by 2. Okay, so since we divided by 2, my remainder is going to be 3 over 2 times 2, which gives me a remainder of 3. Okay, so if you ever have to divide, you have to multiply your remainder by that number. This is something that a lot of people forget, so don't forget to do that. So my remainder is 3, my constant's 1, my x is negative 1, x squared, and x to the third. Okay, so final answer. 4x to the third minus 2x squared minus x plus 1 plus our remainder, which is really 3 over 2x plus 1. Okay, so there is our answer for number 3. Number 4. I look at it. I'm missing an x to the third, so I'm going to make a note so I don't forget. Sometimes it's easy to forget that. So there's 0x to the third, and then everything else is good. And then I notice there's a 2 here, so I have to divide every piece by 2. Okay, so I would really have 2x to the fourth minus 0 divided by 2 is 0, so 0x to the third, minus 5 over 2 x to the second. You can use 2.5, it's up to you. I'm going to use fractions. plus 2 divided by 2 is 1, so x, plus 4 divided by 2 is 2, divided by x minus 1/2. Okay, to figure out what I put in my box, I take x minus 1/2 is equal to 0, so I put in positive 1/2. So 1/2, I have 2. I don't know why I put, doesn't matter, plus or minus 0. So 0 minus 5 over 2, 1 and 2. And I do my process of synthetic division. Bring down the 2. 1/2 times 2 is 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1/2 times 1 is 1/2. Negative 5 over 2 plus 1/2 is going to be just negative 2. 1/2 times negative 2 is negative 1. I add these, I get 0. 1/2 times 0 is 0. Add these, and I get 2. So this means my remainder is 2, but I have to multiply it by 2. Okay, so once again, remember, so really my remainder is equal to 2 times, I divided everything by 2, so I multiply by 2. So my remainder is 4. This is my constant, this is my x squared, and x to the third. So my answer would be 2x to the third plus x squared minus 2x plus 0, which we usually don't write, so I'm not going to write it right now, plus our remainder, plus 4 over 2x minus 1. Okay. So there is our answer for number 4. The next two problems are word problems, so if you have any questions right now about the process of synthetic division, please write them down, come and ask. Otherwise, we're going to move on to the word problems. Number 5 says the area of a rectangle is, and they give you x to the third plus 3x squared plus 4x plus 2 square inches, and the width is x plus 1. We want to find the length. So, area of a rectangle, length times width. I want to find the length. So if I want to find length, I would divide by W. So my length is equal to my area divided by my width. So let's go ahead and do that. We would have the length is equal to x to the third plus 3x squared plus 4x plus 2, all over x plus 1. Okay, if we're finding the length, I see it's a polynomial divided by a binomial. This one's not a nice quadratic to factor, so I'm either going to have to do synthetic or long division. I'm going to use synthetic. So I'm dividing by x plus 1. Set it equal to 0, so I get x equals negative 1. So negative 1 goes in my little box. Then I have 1, 3, 4, and 2. Bring down the 1, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add, and there's my answer. So my remainder, my constant, my x, and my x squared. So this means my length is equal to x squared plus 2x plus 2. And there is my answer for number 5. If you have any questions on number 5, come and ask. Otherwise, let's move on to number 6. The area of a triangular sail is, and they provide the area. They also give us the height is x minus 4. It wants to know what is the length of the base of the sail. So this one requires us to do a little more work because the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. We're trying to solve for the base. So looking at this equation, to get the base by itself, I'd have to multiply by 2 first. So my 2a is equal to b times h. I want b by itself, so I would divide both sides by h. So my base is equal to 2a divided by the height. Okay, so this is maybe like a little side note. So we go ahead, and I'm going to set it up. My base is equal to 2 times the area. So the area is 16x to the fourth minus 60x to the third minus 28x squared plus 56x minus 32. All over our height, which is x minus 4. Right, now I need to go ahead and simplify. So my base, so I need to multiply that 2 out. So 2 times 16, we have 32x to the 4th minus 2 times 60 is 120x to the 3rd minus 2 times 28, that's going to give us 56x squared, plus 2 times 56 is 112x, and 2 times negative 32 is negative 64, all over x minus 4. Once again, this is not easily factorable, so I'm going to go ahead and do synthetic. Take this piece, x minus 4 equals 0, so in my little box I have 4. Then I would have 32, negative 120, negative 56, 112, and negative 64. Complete synthetic. So bring the first one down. 32. 4 times 32, 128. Add these together and I get 8. 4 times 8 is 32. Negative 56 plus 32 is negative 24. 4 times negative 64, negative 96. Add these two together and I get 16. 4 times 16 is 64. Add them together and I get 0. So, remainder, constant, x, x squared, and x to the 3rd. So my base is equal to 32x to the 3rd plus 8x squared minus 24x plus 16. Okay. And this is my base, and it's measured in meters, so there it is. I think I forgot to label on the last one, so if you wanted to go back and label that one, we probably should. My length is in inches, so this one should have been labeled in inches. All right. That is it for Unit 7, Video 4. If you have any questions on synthetic, please let me know. You will find that you probably can do synthetic a bit quicker than long division, but if you like long division more, that's fine. It's your preference which one you like. But if you have questions on either one, please come and ask. Otherwise, have a nice day.